Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Your buddy Choppadong coming at you with a baseball review. Today is Freebie Friday, and I want to show you what is open to you to enjoy, to sample, to test drive, whatever you want to call it, inside DFSArmy.com. If you don't know me, you can follow me out on Twitter at Choppadong, and of course, I'm lead content editor, senior contributor, and coach at DFSArmy.com, where we really just try to make you a better player from NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, NASCAR, whatever sport it is that we offer. We try to cover it to the best of our ability and give you the content, tools, and coaching that produce winning lineups. Really quickly, before I show you all the tools that are unlocked to you, let me show you why. Because we win on a nightly basis. We've got a couple of winners here. We've got, small winners, big winners, doesn't really matter. I'll show you at the very end. That's $200 there. That's 130 there off of $7. There's another 75 off of it. A couple of wins here. We talk about ladder sweeps all the time. I've included those in a couple of the links that we've been sharing. Getting your core across in MME is a big deal. Getting all three across is also obviously what you want to do in a 3-max type of tournament. There's $200 out of 50, another 200 out of 50, another 200 out of 50, probably just different lineups showing the full ladder sweep. There's a $700 winner. This one is a big one here with all of the cores getting across. Multiple screenshots here, just goes on and on and on. MME, where everything in this guy's core went across. Good job, Ryan. And getting through to some of the coaching and contest selection and bankroll management that we discuss on a daily basis is going to lead you to becoming a better player. It just is. And as we scroll down the list and kind of wrap it up, there's a big sweep there. I think that, yesterday, $500 winner here. Scroll down to the bottom last night, $10,000 winner here out of Dabbing Puggle. So great job there, guys. That's just kind of what we do on a daily basis inside DFSArmy.com. But today, we've opened up, if you come up here to the main deal, come to the baseball tab. All of these tools, a lot of them are open to you. The Domination Station is not, but coaches picks, tiers, Carnage Report, Research Station, starting lineups. I don't think starting lineups is open to you, but most everything is. The articles that are going to pop in, we've got our full count slate breakdown preview open right now. You can come in there and click. You can just use the link in the comment section, take you directly to the website. We will have stacks today. I'm going to try and assemble hunting homers today for you guys, just so you see what we normally produce. We might have playbook out too for MME players. It's a great way to get a quick skimmed view of the slate. Our coaching picks page will have a couple of coaches down in here that you can tab over, and showdown notes. Those will start populating around mid-afternoon because the guys want to make sure that some of the lineups are out, that they got a little bit better grasp of what's getting ready to happen today, or what to expect, crunch some numbers. They don't want to put anything out right now that ends up becoming inaccurate later. So coaching picks page we usually have to wait a little bit on, but the Carnage Report's already up for the main slate. The purple numbers are good, the red numbers are bad, so you would use these guys up top here as your pitchers potentially, and you would use these guys down here to stack against potentially, or do like I do. You can assess a lot of these different things, and when I start seeing, maybe Boston, Chicago, LA, Texas, San Diego, whatever, down here in the bottom portion of this as bats that I want to use and stack against, I'm going to be looking through the coach's notes and maybe some research station numbers and things to see if I can't keep turning green lights on when this coach says it, and this coach says it, and this coach says it, or this statistic points to it, or whatever, and I start strengthening that pick towards how much I like that play. Because right now my first indicator here is that these are good teams to stack. If you play tiers, this is another way to actually find some pretty cool one-offs for regular DFS too. Again, purple's good, red is bad. And you've got these players against the pitcher that they're going against for the day. It doesn't take too long to study this chart, start figuring out that, down here, Mike Trout obviously is going to be a great tiers pick, maybe the best for cash games or something like that. If you wanted to get off of that and instead maybe stack San Diego, because we saw they were in a decent spot today, you may take Renfroe and Tatis in a tiers, contrarian type lineup and put yourself in a decent position to get away from the obvious Yelich and Trout and whatever that people are going to pick in tier 1, and then come down here, scroll down a little bit, you can find others. You can start seeing some of the correlations. Look for LA again if you wanted Ohtani and Trout, et cetera, et cetera. There are patterns that will emerge that are easy for you to pick up on as a tiers player. And the research station is where we do all of our searching, all of our stuff. I want to show you a really quick way to find power bats today. Very simple. You come over here, you go to either the matchup ISO or the starting pitcher ISO page on the main batting tab, and you just starting pitching, you sort by descending order. You can use the DFSA grades. In fact, I'll show you that too. And you can start looking for which hitters are facing pitchers that give up a lot of ISO against. So 288 out of, who is this? Taylor Clark and Brad Peacock both. And if you wonder, I got asked this question earlier today about how come the numbers for Brad Peacock are going to be different up here as they would be, down further down the list. And the reason why is this is to handedness. Brad Peacock gives up a 288 ISO to lefties. He's going to give up a different number to righties. So I'm focused on the guys that are going to be hitting that side for power. If he has trouble with left-handers, then I want to use these left-handers that have over a 200 ISO. So now Taylor Clark and Brad Peacock have the same 288 in their sample size, so that's kind of tough because it's not completely organized correctly. But 244 and 213 out of Pablo Sandoval and Brandon Belt against right-handed pitching is great. They've both got over 200 ISO themselves. Down here, Didi Gregorius going up against Brad Peacock. Didi has a high ISO at a 249, and Peacock gives up a 288. So these are numbers that I start looking for down this list, and I can go position by position and do it, or I can just do this by the team and by handedness. Another thing to do, the quickest way to really bust up your research is to come down here, use DFSA grade, sort by descending. It's already defaulted for you in that regard. But I'm going to assemble by DFSA grade, say for FanDuel. Well, let's just do it for DraftKings. What the heck? Be easier this way. So once I get my catchers brought up here, I'm watching DFSA grade. I may take catchers, since it's a huge slate tonight, I may take catchers only over an 80. So I may come down to Astudillo, and that's it. So if I scroll over here, I'm going to be watching on DraftKings anyway for value plays. The 3,800 for Jason Castro if he gets to start tonight. I look at 3,100 for Manny Pena. If he gets to start, Astudillo at 3,500. These might be my value plays. They're highly rated. I'm always looking for value bats on DraftKings because pricing is a little bit tighter there. So I'm going to come over here, and I should be using this chart up here, but I typically just go position by position through the FanDuel side of things. But again, now that I've got first baseman called up, a little shallower position, actually deeper here, not up top, shallower up top, but very deep, all the way down, first baseman, all the way down past Christian Walker. So I've got all of these guys to choose from. So on DraftKings, if I'm looking for cheaper or value first baseman, then I'm watching this salary right here. And I'm looking at Choi maybe. It's rated pretty high, and then Aguilar if I need to, or Yonder Alonso if I need to. But I may have to pay up today at first base anyway. So when I go over to second base, I watch this number shift, see it gets a little bit shallower. So these guys are going to be the important ones, down to about Brock Holt. Doesn't mean the other guys are unplayable. It just means you're going to try and stick with these guys as much as possible. And Panic is the value guy. Maybe Cano if he picks up a price. Down to Brock Holt. The rest are priced up. Third base. So I'm going to constantly refer back to this so I know where my line is. Down here to Travis Shaw. So now I'm going to watch for price. Shaw is going to be a value play. And that's about it. Anything under about 3,500 is going to be a value play on DraftKings. And I want to try and find at least 3, 4, 5 guys, around different positions or whatever that I can key on that are going to bring me value in case I have to pay up for my pitching. Come down here, there's only about 4 shortstops. Maybe you come down to the 79s and pick up down to Tim Anderson. So when I scroll over here, Didi Gregorius is a little bit of a value play. Brandon Crawford is just off the list, but he might be a value play. And now watch how deep outfield gets. Outfield's always our deepest position. You got 3 guys to pick from. You got to scroll all the way down here, down even to the 79, so down to about, say, Duggar. So if I scroll back up, we'll see if we can find somebody who's very highly rated at a cheaper value. So the highest rated guys you're going to find, Palka and Aaron Hicks. That's if Palka's even playing right now? I don't know. I don't need to know. I can wait for starting lineups to come out. I don't have to go check the minor league news or the roster news or any of that that's killing time that I don't need to be killing. So I can just wait for starting lineup, see if he's in projected lineup or not. Come down here a little bit lower, all the way down to like a Duggar type, and you're going to see him at 3,300. But the rest of them are all about $4,000. You're going to struggle to find value on DraftKings typically. If you wanted to really dig into it, you can turn all of the positions off by holding down the control button. If I wanted to turn them on, I hold the control button down, and I can click through as much as I want. I'll show you that trick, and then we'll let you go. But I would filter this out. You can sort, you can filter any column you want. I encourage you to play with it. It has a little bit of a growth curve to it. I have a few things that I like to do. So salary less than, say, $4,000, right? So this is only going to be 39 and below. And there's my top rated guys on the slate under $4,000 to start building lineups with. So, I don't know why the 0 for Chris Bryant or whatever. If I wanted to show you how to turn these games on and off, I'll click that first one and then I'll go add these. So once this is set up, I click that first one and then I hold the control button down and I can click on all of the others except for that 220 game, and now I've got all the games. I could have started in reverse by just holding the control key down, clicking off the 220. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get it done. And now you've got your day games gone and only your night slate games are running, and that's where the zeros disappeared too. They're not on the main slate, I suppose. Now, anything under $4,000, it's going to be a value play over here on DraftKings, and you can see you want to stay kind of above the 80 if you can, as much as you can. Get as many of those guys in your lineup as you can, and then maybe round out by, let's see, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, New York, New York. If Gregorius and Hicks are both in the lineup and New York's in a good spot, you might start there with a couple of your guys stacking, and then you may throw a Luke Voigt, or you may throw somebody a little bit more expensive around them to round out your stack. You may look at Milwaukee and say Aguilar and Pena if Pena gets the start. Down here, Shaw. There's a value 3 stack. So I might get 3 Milwaukee guys if they check out to be in a good spot. And then I can center them, say, around Minnesota guys, or Boston guys. Boston's not going to be on this list. Houston's not going to be on this list in very many cases because they're just going to be expensive. And Jose Altuve at 3,800 is probably a pretty ridiculous price looking at that. But we want to find good pitchers for our rosters. You can use the Carnage report to do that like I showed you. We want to find bad pitchers for our rosters to stack bats against. You can use Carnage report to do that. Or you can use the tab over here, the starting pitching matchups page, and you can find a whole bunch of other ways to look at these guys from some of their numbers, hard contact numbers, whatever, maybe home runs per 9. If I wanted to sort that by descending and pull all the guys that give up a huge home run per 9 and stack against them, I can come over here, say the top 4 or 5 guys, a 1.5 and above. What's that? Yu Darvish. See, who knew Yu Darvish was given 1.5 per 9? But so Mets, Cardinals, Minnesota, we already mentioned them. Cincinnati, San Francisco are all in decent positions. You want to stay in the opponent side of things, and that's who you'd be taking offensive players from. Batting matchups page is easy to go through, like I showed you, in position by position or overall. Sort by salary, get your punt plays out there. Sort by, filter off the lower salary. You can also use this trends tab. That's where I get a lot of my L7 numbers from. If I organize that by L7, I can find out who's the hottest catcher in the league for DraftKings. Right now, it's Astudillo. Collins, Contreras, Pena, these guys are all up there. But that's how I can find who's swinging a hot bat. What I like to do is I like to find, this is my basic process, and then we'll let you go. I like to find a good starting pitcher. However I find it, somebody with strikeout upside and somebody that's going to go several innings in line to get the win. Then I like to find my bad pitchers, because I want to know who to target with my bats. And I find those team offenses that are going up against the bad pitching. And then I dig into those team offenses with this trends tab. And I find out, like I might click on just Minnesota. And then I'm going to find out on that team who is swinging the hot bat right now. So I've got good pitchers for my team. I've got bad pitchers for my stacks to go against. And I'm using the hot bats going against the bad pitchers, if that makes sense. So I would be using Astudillo, Kepler, Erez, maybe Cruz. These guys are over a 400. L7 WOBA is a perfect number for me to watch. And these other guys, not so much. I'm not interested in them. Now, I might use them down the road if I need to complete a stack. I've got, 3 or 4 guys, and I want to, or I'm, playing an MME style, and I want to have 6 guys for a 4 stack, and I just want to kind of have a few different lineups with a little bit of different, a couple of different twins on there. Then I might have Astudillo, Kepler, Ares, Cruz, and then I might throw in like Cron, Garver, or Sano, or something like that to, and then have it give me, maybe it'll give me Astudillo, Ares, Cruz, Scope. Maybe it'll give me Kepler, Cruz, Cron, Sano, something like that, and it'll kind of mix it up a little bit because we never know exactly which guys are going to go off. But I think you understand the point. Hopefully, you get a quick tour of the tools this way. Come inside for Freebie Friday and check the tools and the content and the coaching out. Test drive it. The only thing you don't get is the coaching discussion. You've got to come inside for that. So you need to click that link in the description down there to unlock these tools and get to this header right here, where you can start clicking through the tab and start playing with the tools yourself for today. Hopefully you like what you see. You want to come inside, you want to ask questions, you want to learn how to use these tools, and you want to learn to obviously improve your DFS game. Use that coupon code CHOP if you decide to sign up. CHOP triggers a 20% off discount. And of course, as always, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll keep putting these videos out there for you. Have fun with Freebie Friday, guys, and I'll talk to you guys over the weekend.